Round 2 of the Ford Trailseeker series was at Cradle Moon in the Cradle of Human Kind, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. A sold-out field of mountain bikers were raring to race, including some of the best in the land.
Hey everybody, good morning and welcome. It's the Ford Trailseeker race number 2 here at the beautiful Cradle Moon Resort just outside Fourways in Johannesburg, Gauteng, South Africa. We've got close on 2,000 athletes here today. It's a sold out field. Really good to have the numbers back to where they were pre-COVID. So a big thank you to all the athletes. We're ready for some great racing today. The 60 kilometer marathon, the 36 kilometer half marathon, then we have the 20 and the 10 kilometer as well. The trails are absolutely immaculate. The team here on the ground has done an amazing job, and we are certain that the racing up front is going to be absolutely electric. Thank you for joining us. Let's see how the racing goes today.
A great morning out here at Cradle Moon, and it's definitely going to be hard racing. We checked out the route yesterday. The trails are fun, and racing on it's just going to be extra fun. So we're really excited for the day.
So to arrive here and to see the new shade of blue around with the Ford Trailseeker 2024. Every year as an athlete, you kind of get a new contract and you have new colors. And I must say, you put a new kit on and you feel like you have new legs. And it's very similar here with the Trailseeker. We have the Ford sponsoring, being the title sponsor. And it's almost like everyone's got a new energy. We all want to come ride. And if I'm not mistaken, the Trailseeker Cradle Moon was sold out. So it must mean something.
It means a lot of things. For a start, the Ford Trailseeker events are massively popular due to the great show the Faces Advendurance crew put on. There are also races for everyone, from 10Ks through to the marathon over 60Ks. The Big A batch included the 5-strong Pieter Eurosteel squad, a formidable quintet. Also in the field was strongman Jan Withaar of Security 24 and Sean Bester of Bester Performance. A smooth, paved road away from Cradle Moon was about as good as it got, and it gave the pros a chance to separate themselves from the rest of the pack. The Cradle is renowned for having some of the best single-track trails in Gauteng, and they got an early introduction with a sweeping trail that ran the full length of the property, snaking through the lush green veld before heading into a forested section. Bester turned up the heat, but the Pieter boys were hot on his wheels.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a good race. I see there's quite a stacked field here. Obviously not as big as the one down in the Western Cape, but some serious riders here today. The route looks quite challenging with some nice single tracks and quite a bit of climbing in 60 kilometers. So I'm looking forward to a tough race.
All of this single track, windy trails are going to be punchy. Going to be lovely. Yeah, pretty epic race. One long climb, we'll see. I think the race might split up, but we'll see. Maybe it's split up between some kudus or something. There's some awesome wildlife out here today.
This was the first time the Trailseeker series had visited the Cradle Moon trails. And aside from the amazing riding, the game the riders came across was truly breathtaking. Herds of Wildebeests and Zebras everywhere on the 1,500-hectare conservancy. Full base Pieter Toit and Michael Foster used the day's big climb into the hills to get away from their rivals. Foster is from KwaZulu-Natal and he's the African Under-23 cross-country champion who is sitting in third on his own. This race also formed part of the Gauteng Provincial Series, with riders through the age groups competing for provincial honours. Up ahead, Toit and Base are putting in a massive Cape Epic training ride, never more than a few inches apart. The senior man Base getting his young partner Toit to do most of the hard yards on the front.
Yeah, it's great. We recently got Ford on board with the team as well, specifically the dealers group. So obviously tying up with the Trailseekers where they also have Ford on board, it just works out perfectly for us, and the synergy is just great.
Ace is the man behind the team and was chuffed to have a new member of their sponsorship team. And there was excellent evidence of fine synergy between the two Pieter Eurosteel riders as they continued to ride at full gas. It's amazing to think that this beautiful game-rich reserve is no more than a 40-minute drive from the heart of urban Gauteng. With the finish looming, Base put the hammer down. On this evidence, the pair will be major contenders for the African jersey at the Absa Cape Epic. The finish was just across the lake wall, and Base was nudged into second place by Toit, who took the win.
Yeah, very happy. I love taking the race to the line. Super nice racing with Phil and Michael today. Yeah, the pace was quite high. Last training before Cape Epic. Yeah, really happy how the form was, and yeah, cherry on top is taking the sprint against Phil.
Nothing like beating your boss to the line.
Yeah, that's second for me today, but yeah, luckily Pieter is a teammate. He got first, and I think we've got third as well with Michael. So yeah, it was a good race, and I mean a good outing for the guys from Ford as well. You know, with the Trailseeker and joining our team as well. It was just a great day out.
Foster made it a Piger clean sweep by finishing third.
Yeah, the pace was quite hot. Yeah, I think eventually Philip, Pieter and I were sort of together, and then yeah, on one of the single tracks there was a whole clump of wire that they just dodged it, and then I think maybe they put it in the way for me, I think. Yeah, it's exciting that yeah, we're all strong, and yeah, the pace was strong today, so it's a good gauge for Epic, and yeah.
60 kilometres with 1,000 metres of elevation took Toit and Base just over 2 hours and 23 minutes. Foster was followed home by fourth Piger man, Jaedon Terlouw, who probably headed for the airport to fly to Cape Town to race the Cape Town cycle tour the following morning. Withaar was a second behind him, and working class hero Craig Uriah in seventh. The women's elite field in the marathon race was a big one as they rolled away from the start. Sarah Hill was the rider to beat. Skeepers was a young rider looking to cause an upset, and there were a number of other strong women keen to step onto the podium. The mazy single track was a delight and gave Hill the chance to show her skill and strength as she began powering away from her rivals through the forest. Tanya Bester was chasing hard, but Hill, another preparing for the Absa Cape Epic, was in the mood and soon reeling in the slower A-batch men. Spanish-born Bester, wife of Sean Nick, was having the time of her life. Not far behind her was one of the country's top trail runners, Nicolette Griffioen, having opened up a gap to Skeepers. Hill was working hard to put time and distance into Bester, and she used the day's big climb at around 25 k's to do just that. Bester was dropped, but the mother of one showed admirable tenacity as she kept pushing to close the gap. Still an under 23, Carly Skeepers was making great progress in the sport, and sound judgment as she backed off a confrontation with the Wildebeest. She and Lillian Babel were 8th at the tough Tankwa Trek a few weeks ago. The single track just kept flowing, and Sarah Hill, a complete cyclist, just kept going. Griffioen had meanwhile caught Bester.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a slow start this morning and a small mechanical, so I had to stop and fix that, so not the best start, but I slowly worked my way back, and then it was actually nice to have a long climb. I enjoyed that, although I was pretty tired and very hot out there.
Yeah, very, very hot. I was really glad that I had this used to it pack. It's the Outlander 2.0. It's very light and breathable. It weighs the same as a water bottle. And so with so much single track out there, it was actually really difficult to reach down and grab a bottle. So I'm really glad I had it. Plus it has the extra 2 litres of water, which you needed on a course like this.
A superb ride by Sarah as she celebrated her first win of the year in style with a radiant smile. A job well done. Griffioen was very impressed with the new series venue at Cradle Moon.
In comparison to the series last year, I'd say this is the most sustained single track, and it's basically in Joburg. And yeah, lots of game, lots of wildlife, so really, really nice.
It was amazing. I think it's the best race I did in my life. I don't even have words. It was fantastic. Very hard. I think the recovery rate, it was not 4 beers. I think it's maybe 7. Yeah, I'm dead. I'm going to sleep for 2 days now.
The women's podium, Sarah Hill on top, Nicolette Griffioen in second, and Tanya Bester a delight in third. Sarah Hill's margin of victory was over 7 minutes. Griffioen was in turn the same margin ahead of third-placed Tanya Bester. Another good ride by 22-year-old Skeepers, who was fourth and making steady progress towards the podium. So after the first 2 rounds of the Ford Trailseeker series, this is how things stand on the overall table. Ignatius Dupree tops the men's standings after he followed up his 18th place in a stacked elite field in Bunhoek, with the 6th place in Cradle Moon. With most of the top 10 in the standings racing overseas, Ernie Roots is likely to be his closest rival. He was 17th in Bannock and 8th in round 2. In the women's, again, most of the top 10 are internationals who are likely to do another race this year. Anna Marks was rewarded for her travels. Her 6th place in Cradle Moon followed an opening round finish in 19th. Winner in Cradle Moon, Sarah Hill, is likely to be her closest rival this season. The decision to take the series to the Cradle of Human Kind and specifically to the stunning Cradle Moon Lakeside Game Lodge was an inspired one by the Faces Advendurance team. A sold-out field was proof of that. It's a short drive from both Pretoria and Johannesburg, and beside the sensational trail network within the Conservancy, it boasts so much more to keep riders and non-riders interested and entertained.
Well, today we just had the biggest mountain bike race that's probably ever happened on the soil. The Conservancy, it's a 2,000 hectare property that has multiple species of animals, and I'm very privileged to be and work on the trails and to have an event so huge with Ford rock up. It's amazing. I've never seen this many people in my life in one place. But it's so awesome, and I hope for the years to come it just gets better and better and we can control the cars a lot more and the people and keep the vibe up. It's awesome to see so many people bringing out their bicycles, from the extreme pro to the little boy on his little first bicycle. It's epic to have here.
A new venue and a new sponsor. One of the world's biggest vehicle brands, Ford, are on board as the title sponsors for the year. Having made a huge impact in the Cape in round 1, their superior vehicles created a real stir at Cradle Moon as well amongst the thousands of mountain bikers who turned up.
What a success. It's been an awesome day. I think I saw 2 days ago that this one is sold out. It's amazing. You know, Gauteng people are out here having fun. It is the second Ford Trailseeker event. It's amazing. Brand representation all over the people. It's really been an amazing day. I mean, we're sponsoring now the Pieter team. It's been really an awesome day for us. And I suppose it was part of the package that they have to win. It's co-funded by us Ford head office and our Ford dealers. That's how much we have faith in the sport. I mean, our vehicles are there. It's your partner to the adventure lifestyle in the sport. So it's really awesome for us as a Ford as a brand to be involved.
How was your Cradle Moon experience? I mean, what a great venue.
No, the track is awesome, eh? There's a couple of surprises in the first half. Going into the river section, but other than that, awesome track.
Yeah, I'll be lying in bed the rest of the day, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. My first Trailseeker, and it was brilliant.
Very much so. 20 Ks I think is a perfect distance. Great start, massive uphill to the second water point and a beautiful downhill to end it, so can't complain.
Round 2 earned rave reviews from the thousands of riders who made the effort to enter and ride one of the 4 distances. A quality medal, countless thumbs up, and smiling, satisfied riders, clear evidence that Cradle Moon was one for the books. Round 3 is not far away. In keeping with changing the riding environment, round 3 of the Ford Trailseeker series heads for the Bosveld. Who doesn't want to be in the bush in winter? Make sure you enter early. It's on the 8th of June.